West Liberty Head Coach Lynn Ullom, players Cassie Smith, Tori Hansen. Lynn, who worked on the game, and then we'll open up for questions.
All right, before I talk about our team, I want to acknowledge Sarah Van Horn. For those of you who have had a chance to see her play for the last 4 years, and I've been in the league for 18 years, and I've coached great players, and I've been in NCAA tournaments. She's as good as a player that's ever played in this league. And I'm just glad she's graduated.
Thank you, sir.
With that being said, I'm really proud of our kids because we won a game today that I don't know we would have won in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. And that's not a slap at any of my teams, but we are a white-collar bunch traditionally. And this game was brutally physical today. Both teams played really, really hard. And we were able to put the line in the sand and say we're not backing up anymore in the second half. And I think that played a big role. We started getting some long rebounds and some loose balls and some rebounds in traffic and some second chance opportunities. And you know, that's a credit to our kids. We haven't always played pretty this year, but we found a way to win. And all we need to do is take one more step.
Coach, that one stretch in the first half where Wesleyan went 6.5 minutes without scoring, what did you folks do during that time to crank it up?
Well, I just think with us, it's a concentration level. We didn't change anything that we're doing defensively, but we just got a little bit smarter about where our kids were and how we're going to play certain individuals that had the ball. But I'm glad you referenced that because that won the game because we were down 25-17, I believe, and we were struggling. We were struggling, and we didn't improve that much offensively, but we were able to get a succession of stops. And we kind of, you know, weathered the storm or whatever cliche you want to use. And I told our kids at halftime, we should be so thankful that we're sitting here with a 2-point lead because I thought we could play a whole lot better. And some of that's due to Wesleyan. I thought their game plan was really good. And their kids were just so ultra aggressive that they took us out of what we like to do on a number of possessions.
Were you surprised how much man they played against you in the first half?
Yes, for sure. Because when we played in third place, they played zone probably at least 30 minutes in the game. And that did surprise us a little bit, but we're not the same team we were back then, too. We didn't see a lot of zone early. That game kind of caught us by surprise, and we've actually performed pretty well against zones. And when you have kids that are shooting the ball the way Laura Mallory and Julie have been shooting it for a week or so, even Tori hit 5 threes in the 2 previous games, I think maybe that concerned them a little bit. But we try to win by committee. Cassie monster game today, and I will give her credit. One of the biggest baskets in the game is when Laura Mallory hit a 3 out of the timeout, and Cassie called that play. We probably ran it one time all season. So yesterday, I was praising my assistant coaches. Well, we can fire them now. Just she called that play out of the timeout, and it was a big 3 in the game.
Talk about that stretch in the second half where it was trading baskets, but they were getting 2s and you guys were getting 3s.
Well, that's kind of been a theory of mine since I started coaching here, that they do count one more point. And if you can shoot it at a pretty good percentage, which we do, there's been many games where we've won by 8, but we've outpointed them by 8 3-point field goals. So that's kind of the way we play. We want to get 3s, but the other side of that is teams have probably done more things to us defensively this year to take away the 3, and we've still found ways to win. Against Wheeling Jesuit in our season finale, we made 1 3-point field goal and still won. So I think we're a little bit more versatile maybe than our teams the last couple of years.
Yeah, during that stretch, I mean, we came up on a 10-minute mark of the second half. It's tied at 40, and you made 3 3-pointers. Next 5 minutes, you made 5 more 3-pointers, 4 different kids, and you're up by 6. You know, they were. It seemed like they were so focused on Laura the whole game, but it took you a while to open things up for other people.
Well, and Tori will tell you because I was getting on her pretty good because she's so competitive. If she gets the ball inside the paint, she thinks she can score every single time. And that's a good trait most of the time. But we talked at halftime about we have to make the extra pass. And on a number of those, It wasn't set plays where we're designed and the kid catches it and shoots. It came off of the extra pass on probably half of those field goals. And our kids are unbelievably unselfish. But we just were not making that extra pass, and we did, and unfortunately we had some kids knock it down.
Coach, with Wesleyan bringing so much ball pressure into the backcourt, a few times there you brought some ball screens, a few times you just cleared it out and let your guards play. What was your main strategy as far as countering that ball pressure?
Well, I don't think you can do a lot, because if you bring a post player up in the backcourt to set that screen, then you got one of your post players 55 feet from the basket. So once you get back in the half-court set, you're going to face the pressure again. And Tori's playing out of position too. I mean, the season that she's had, not even playing her natural position. And, we just want to weather the storm. Hopefully we can get up in the front court and make plays. But Wesleyan did a good job, and the game was just so physical that it was a war to get it up there.
Yeah, you had talked, coming into the tournament a little bit about the Tori's production, Laura's 3-point shooting and all, but you're saying, to win this tournament, to get where you need to go, you need somebody to step up, you need an X factor to emerge. So all of it. Find an X factor.
Well, she might be sitting down here. But we've always won games by committee. Even the teams where we had the star-studded 2 first-team all-conference kids and a second team or whatever, our role players have been unbelievably important to our team. And we just have a little bit of versatility. On any given day, I think we've got a number of kids that can hurt the opposition. And so far it's worked out. And I don't think, this is the 11th time we've been here in a championship game, so we're not going to go out and do cartwheels in the street. We've got to focus and find a way to win this last game.
Well, Cassie, coming into today's game, do you have any kind of a special feeling that this might be your day? Or?
No. No, you just, you go in every day, you do your same routines. You try to have your little, quirks that you do and stuff like that. But we were just motivated. We were excited to be here. I haven't been to a conference tournament because Longwood didn't have they were independent, so they didn't really have. So it's really exciting to be here and just, have that feeling.
What do you think? What do you think led to your success today? Was it a matchup that you had inside, or just?
I'm not sure. The second half was probably more of a better feel for me because we started doing a lot more. We started kicking it out again. And the first half was kind of drive. We weren't focusing on kicking it out, like you said. And I think that finally we realized that I was double teamed, and they were. So I just had to kick it out, and that's when I think really was the success of it. And they kind of left me open from the 3, so that's nice.
Somebody asked Tori a question so we can get her.
You were named Conference Player of the Year over Van Horn. It was named last year. Did you feel any pressure in this game to prove yourself better than her?
Not really. I just, every game I just go out and try to play my best and get the win for the team. I mean, the coach obviously uses it as motivation. He'll say that you're not playing hard, she's playing harder than you or whatever, but it gets me fired up, so it works.
So even though he's playing mind games with you, but they still work?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do.
Is the slashing game your game?
Yeah, I'd much rather take it to the hoop than shoot for here or even pull up. But.
See, we just never really had a player that does the things that Tori does. We've had great post players, and we've had great point guards, and we've had great 3-point shooters. But if you wanted to nitpick and say what have maybe we not had, is that slashing, athletic 2-3 spot player. She's starting to be a marked girl now. Like when she was in the paint, there were 3 kids there on her today, and she still ended up with pretty good numbers. But the biggest, and then I'll shut up and we can go watch the other game. But the biggest thing about our kids, they want to be coached. And that means taking criticism. A lot of kids can't take it. And we try from day one, we're going to be tough on them because they're going to find themselves in a Civic Center court with 10 minutes left tie game. And now it's a battle of the wills. And our kids can take it, but it's a battle of the wills, and we've had a really good season.
Any further questions? Cassie, Tori, Lynn, thank you.
Thank you.